You are listening to the Become a Guitarist Today podcast with Adam Roach.
Hi, everybody. This is guitarist Frank Mbali, and you're listening to Adam Roach on Become a Guitarist Today podcast.
I see you've accumulated a few more guitars there, huh?
Yeah, you got a few more from the garage.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Good. And how you been?
Yeah, very good. I can't believe it's been 1 year already since we did our last podcast.
Time does go by quickly, doesn't
Yeah, and you're coming back down again.
it? I love God's country.
Yeah,
Yeah, that whole area is blessed, man. It's just mom and pop shops and
Yep.
thrift shops. You can get CDs and vinyl,
Mm,
some vintage clothes, and some old pedal from England somewhere.
yeah.
You know, you get lucky every once in a while. You get to go to like a pawn shop or something.
Yeah, there's a few around, which is really good.
Yeah, I love that. The fact that they still exist, because New York has just come to a halt, and some of California too. There's a couple places, but not the way it used to be.
Yeah.
COVID kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
to see, yeah, it kind of wrecked things for us.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so thankfully I went and saw the concert last year in November. I couldn't get back to see you. I did ask, but they said no, sorry. So
Well, next time we'll give you a VIP, so you can just definitely come back and say hello to all of us.
oh, that'd be
That should
awesome.
be- Oh yeah, for sure. We got the elevators opening for us, so it's going to be a real good night.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I haven't seen them before. So are they
Oh,
from America as well, are they?
they're like a Cali group with the Ineffable, and yeah, they do really well. People
Yeah.
really dig how they kick it out.
Yeah, good.
Oh, it's going to be a fun night. Big party, reggae party.
Yeah. Is it the same lineup that you brought last time? Same members?
Yeah, it's pretty much always the same.
Okay.
You know, you got Samuel on vocals and guitar, and um, Omar Lopez on bass, Papa, the drummer from Ghana, Africa, Papa Nyako on drums,
Yep.
and Rob Clamper on keyboards, and myself.
Mm. I must say, I was a little bit surprised last time when I was there. I think it's the first time I've been out to a club where they had people smoking. You could just smell the smoke in the club. I thought, what do you expect?
All the time. Yeah, we kind of we're the fault of that.
Yeah, that's funny though. That's wow. It's taking me back to the old days.
Yeah, it's getting more where it's not so annoying
Yeah, yeah,
to security and so on, because sometimes they back in the 70s and stuff, if they catch you smoking some weed up front, they'd hoist you out.
yeah,
In San Francisco, it wasn't like that, but places like New York and
yeah.
Florida, where it was a little bit more strict on
Mm,
marijuana.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's good. That's a good
yeah,
thing. People really smoke in designated areas, I guess.
yeah, yeah. That's right. I mean, we had the guys behind us. The big New Zealanders. They were huge, but the friendliest guys, and they were, all smoking. But the security didn't do anything.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Now, I know when we spoke last, you did talk about. We spoke a little bit about your martial arts. So you're still doing that as well?
I since I've come back from California, I'm living in Florida now. I
Oh,
was going I was going to Shaolin Temple
that's right.
studying uh, Abbot Xian Fan from the Shaolin Temple in Ventura Boulevard in Los Angeles,
Yep.
in actually Woodland Hills. I studied with him for 3 years. And then when I got out here, I've been looking for a master or some teacher or a club that I can join, because I want to do Muay Thai and a little bit more jujitsu.
Yeah.
I'm a better wrestler. I like to strike, but kicking is not really my forte, because I've damaged a few knees in my day. So I got to be really careful on my knees and my ankles.
Yep.
But striking and grappling, I really like. So I'm looking for a good Muay Thai teacher to get my elbows and my striking and
Yeah.
my ground game going just for training.
Mm.
It's not a lot of places out where I am out
Okay.
here for St. Lucie, but we're looking.
Yeah.
We want to start. We've been here for about 6 months now, almost.
Okay.
We've been working avidly, and we're basically trying to finish the record. But
Mm.
I do go to LA Fitness like 4 times a week
Oh, well.
and do my little training there when I'm not on the road. So
Yeah.
I'm still
Uh,
trying to
That's
understand.
great.
Hey, what about you? What about yourself?
Yeah, still doing it. Actually, we just got back from Thailand. Well, there in July,
Oh man,
training in
I'm
Hue
I'm not gonna mess with you, man. Wow.
Hin.
Where'd you go? Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Bangkok?
No, this time we went to Hue Hin. I used to be the king. Used to live there, so it's a
Wow.
really clean, it's countryside and not countryside, just a town. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's real. A lot of people retire there as well from the States and everywhere in the world. So it's a really nice place.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm trying to get to New Zealand to retire.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, because I'm not going to retire, but it's retiring from America.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the political outcome is going to be, and man, I'm not into any nonsense in the future. So I'd rather be in a place that I feel real comfortable with. Because when I'm in Wellington, Aotearoa,
Yeah.
or Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, these places, man, I feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling. I think the government's done really good with putting control over the GMOs in the food that we eat and stuff, and it's not so regulated here.
Mm.
People are dying from all types of and getting all types of sickness from the food and the water we're drinking. We, we don't know where our water comes from.
Mm.
I couldn't tell you the water I'm drinking in these plastic vessels. I have no idea where it came from.
Yeah.
Whether it's spring water, well, I don't know. Whether it's refiltered or who
Mm.
knows what it could be. Same for the food. They're having. I see a lot online. People just taking pieces of fish and meat and all types of breads and stuff, and there's animals crawling around. Is that what we're eating?
Yeah.
Are we eating like mites and worms and stuff? It's a very strong possibility.
Yeah.
So we're trying to. We want to get our diet to where it's benefiting our internal
Yeah.
system because it's all inside you. From martial arts, I'm sure you know that your
100%.
strength is from within.
Mm.
It's not exterior. There's a portion, but the real true strength is from the center core inside of you.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to keep as healthy as possible. You got to go to Jamaica.
Mm.
You got to go see Jamaica because Jamaica's probably has, along with Brazil, the finest quality in nutritional fruits and vegetables,
Mm.
organically grown and stuff,
Okay.
especially up the hills where the Rastas are. Man, they don't play around with coconut water and all their veggies and all the herbs and bush herbs they have and all their sweet and sour fruits. It's like Brazil. Brazil is another monster place for nutrition.
Okay.
I mean, these guys, there's three people you don't want to mess with: Russians, Brazilians, Africans. These these guys are the strongest people I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how they do it, but I think a lot of it has to do with their diet. And
Yep.
in Jamaica, the bananas and the fruits are just literally perfect, man. I mean,
Mm.
you could live off fruits alone. So I really want to get to a proper diet so that the worst thing is not to have your diet together
Yeah.
and you wake up every morning and your stomach is you got gases and all types of strange things going on. So I've realized that through proper food and fruit education, I'll feel much better and be able to do a lot more uh, with the strength I have within.
Now, I remember last time we spoke, you spoke about the clip you did with Steven Seagal, which was in Thailand, and
Yeah.
I did go and watch it. And do you remember where you filmed that? Because it looked very familiar.
That was Chiang Mai.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was with all the elephants and all those beautiful women and candles in the temple. Oh, it was, man, I tell you, that's Girl, It's All Right. One of my favorite songs.
Mm.
And nobody even knows that that's that album is in the market. Song from the Crystal Cave,
Mm.
recorded by Steven Seagal and some Wailers, is one of the greatest records. It's got an eclectic sound with reggae. It's got dance hall with Lady Saw. It's
Mm.
got some rappers with Lieutenant Stitchie. It's got some reggae. It's
Yeah.
got some. It's got some alternative rock. It's got some blues. It's covering a lot of territory, that record. And it's
Mm.
just because Steven Seagal, people are not really taking,
Yeah.
notice of it, but they should. That's one of the greatest records that I've worked on. My recording history. I,
Yeah.
I love that record.
Yeah, did you have a lot to do with the songwriting, or was it just the playing for that album?
Um, I helped produce a couple tracks.
Okay.
Stevie Wonder's on there playing harmonica.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's really crazy. It's a good record. Did you hear the whole thing?
No, I only heard the one song, the film clip.
Got to hear songs from the Crystal Cave. There's like 8, 10 tunes. Crazy.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's a pity you don't have more time when you come here because could have brought you down to our Muay Thai club to have a bit of a train. But,
Oh gosh, maybe if that's a possibility, let's make that happen.
oh, that'd be great. Yeah, for sure. But I know your time's pretty, not much time there in between cities.
Yeah, it can be very cumbersome.
Yeah. Now, another thing, since we spoke last year, now you don't have to talk about this, but the movie that came out, Bob Marley movie, come out this year.
Yeah.
Have you got any words on that, or would you rather not talk about it?
Oh, let's talk about it. I didn't see it,
Oh, really?
honestly. I
Okay.
I, I swear. I felt somebody had called me
Mm.
representing the production of the movie, and they were talking about they wanted me to give them the rights to my image
Yeah.
for the movie. And he was talking and talking and talking about what Ziggy and Sedella wanted to produce, and I understood that. And so I said to him, and I didn't know this guy,
Mm.
and I would have much more preferred to have spoken to Ziggy or Sedella, but that didn't happen. Somebody called me on their behalf. So I dealt with that.
Okay.
And it just so happened I didn't know who this guy was. So I didn't know whether to trust him,
Mm.
give him any information that he doesn't deserve to know. So I said, "What's in it for me?" They said, "Oh, we'll figure that out. Are you willing to give us the rights to your being?" And I was like, "Is there any royalties?" He said, "No." I said, "I don't think that I would want to get involved with, again, having something to do with Bob Marley's life
Yeah.
and not receiving a royalty for it. Because if you're going to put me in a movie where you're going to have my image and, let's say, my recordings
Mm.
and what I produced with Bob and for the Wailers,
Yeah.
you wouldn't give me a percentage of it when it's sold over 5 to 800 million dollars worth of revenue,
Mm.
a movie, and then the people that were responsible for the sound don't get anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going backwards again. So
Mhm.
I don't think that, I could get involved in a production of something where I'm not going to benefit annually. And it could be just an annual payout. You don't have to buy me out. Just give me an annual payout, a small percentage, and that could work. But it always seems that never ever happens with when you work with these situations, when you're trying to get your rights.
Yeah,
It's your right, your God-given right to get a percentage of something that you help produce.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and what I did see some of the trailers. I think Ben did a great job. You know, I think he did a great job. He tried his best to represent one of the most hardest figures, I think, in our musical genre,
Yep.
uh, to really try to be Bob Marley and the young lady who represented Rita. I think they had, the right energies was there.
Yep.
But I don't think that from what I did see, meaning that I'd be on a plane and then it would be, one love in the seat. So I'd see some of it, but it was like I wasn't ready to see a movie of something that I could see that really didn't surround the truth, the 100% truth of really what Bob represented. I
Mm.
think it was I think it was a good idea that they kind of made Rita Marley look very strong,
Yep.
and that was good on behalf of the family decision to do that. But there was a lot of people they left out. They left out Cindy. Bob was madly in love with Cindy Birchbury. He loved Alan Skillcole. He had love for a lot of people that, his cousin Sledger and Leghorn and all the people that were in Hope Road to help Bob put uh, Chow, the studio together. Uh,
Yep.
all of his friends, his real family and friends. I
Yep.
didn't see that in any of the clippets that they were selling. So I just decided that maybe one of these days I'll have the opportunity to see it, but I didn't see the movie, and I'm so glad that it was very successful.
Mm. Yeah. Excuse me. I only just watched it last night. I thought I'd hire it off YouTube and check it out, before I interviewed it. I wanted to see if you were in there, but or anything. But yeah.
No, no, not at all. I mean, there's nothing about me anywhere. And after Peter and Bunny left, it was family and Carly, Tyrone, and myself who was doing all the music with Bob at that time
Yep.
for ages, sitting around waiting for them to distribute Nazi Dread so we could go out there and, show these people the music that we created and our sound, and our philosophy, what we of music. And it was manifested. They released the album, the 50th anniversary. Every year for the next few years, I have a 50th anniversary of some album I've done.
Yeah.
And so it's really bizarre that it's 50 years we have representing the music of Bob Marley and the Wailers and reggae music
Yeah.
all these years and never really got recognized inside from the internal
Mm.
piece of reality. They never gave us our just deserve, our rights, and our opportunity to. I think they did a good job with Junior Marvin and Family Man and all that stuff. They had their children representing them. I did see that, but I didn't see the movie from start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe someday I will. And what did you think of the movie personally?
Yeah. I mean, I thought the guy that did Bob.
And the deer.
I mean, yeah, he did a great job. Like the. I mean, I'm not sure if it was him actually singing and playing it. It looked like it was in some parts.
He said that he couldn't sing, dance, or play guitar.
Really?
That wasn't his thing, and I think he did for a guy who doesn't play guitar, doesn't sing. He's not a singer, and he doesn't, like a dancer. Bob was a dancer, and
Yeah.
he showed he's inside his emotion how he was at that particular time on any stage. He showed how he moved to his music and how he felt inside, and I think Ben did a good job.
He did. I did an amazing job. But yeah, I mean, some of the things where I didn't know about, like I mean, I knew that, a little bit of the story about Bob, but um, just how, like, he was always writing and just the way he came up with the songs. This is the way they put it across anyway. It was pretty amazing.
He was. I never met. I met a lot of artists in my life, a lot of players, session guys, and soloists, and guys who are just like saxophone players, drummers, who didn't want to be in a band. They just wanted to do sessions and keep moving, or teachers that didn't want to be in a group. at all. I never knew somebody like Bob who wanted to be in a group of guys making music
Yep.
consistently. He was a consistent songwriter. He always had great words. And if he didn't have great words, maybe Carly or Tyrone or somebody else, you
Yeah.
know, would give him a couple of lines or produce an intro or let him know where a bridge needed to be because Bob was a great songwriter, but not a great producer in terms of producing the music in its entirety
Yep.
and how they packaged and sold it to the world. It was the band.
Yep.
Bob was writing songs and the band would produce the music for him. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times we in the studio like tag team, 24-hour sessions for months, and he'd be playing football all day.
Mm.
Go take a shower, he'd
Yeah.
get his little ziggy, he'd sit down, and he'd kill it. Like one take, boom. Because he would train before he would come in the studio and kind of give you a vocal verse. And it would always be like, let's keep that. That's because the music was there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times he was out in on the blacktop in Hope Road playing football with skill, and
Mm.
all the balls out there training all the time. So he was training football. It was football, music, and his love for touring and writing songs and just he would go into these little small hotels in New York, like the Chelsea, and we'd all have our rooms, and we'd always be in his room, uh, just writing songs all the time and jamming and just concentrating on like they always made me feel like Carly, Family Man, and Wire and Tyrone were a part of everything. And then when we lost Bob, it's just like all the record company and everybody that was going along with the lawyers
Mm.
and the accountants, they turned their backs on us.
Yeah.
Like we didn't exist. And they literally now they've cut us out of the picture entirely.
Mm.
It's just wow. Like when they're promoting anything, it's just Bob and no one else.
Yeah.
And I don't know whose idea that was, but it's not real because there was always musicians with him supporting him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know whose idea was to cut out the picture that surrounded, because the group always surrounded him at all times, on stage, off stage, on vacation, on tour. We
Yeah.
were always surrounded by him and group members. So the record company always made us feel that we were a part of everything.
Mm.
And then we lost everything. All the reality you can see all the reality now.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of Bob Marley impersonators now. There's
Mm.
a lot of tribute groups that are tributing themselves to Bob Marley and the Wailers. And the Wailers too. Now there's two or three Wailers. There's Junior Marvin Wailers, Aston Junior's Wailers, and the Wailers that I represent. So
Yeah.
there's three Wailers. People are confused. And the idea was to try to keep it all together because that's what Bob really wanted. He didn't want anyone to impersonate him because he told me that. And he always let everybody know that there was a couple of guys that were trying to do his thing, the way he dressed and his thing. He didn't like it.
Mm.
And I thought it was like imitating Bob was sing a bad Elvis in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
You
right.
know, and it's when you see everybody playing the songs that we created and produced and wrote with Bob, like so many groups of musicians are doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like it. It's not like I don't like it, but it's just the fact that nobody's recognizing who was responsible for the sound.
Mm.
Everybody, doing samples and they're doing this and they're doing that and they're copying all the note for note, my solos and solos from everybody, Tyrone and everybody. So they're doing our thing.
Yep.
And what about us?
Yeah. That's right.
What about us? They don't care. So that's clear. And so what we're trying to do is, with the music that we are making, is make an attempt to significantly keep the remembrance of Bob, Peter, and Bunny, how they recorded, their philosophy about, their being as a trio.
Yep.
And then we added on Carly and them, because before Carly and Family Man came, they had, Ernest Ranglin and all these great other musicians, like all the session guys wanted to back up the Wailers. And then you got the Upsetters from scratch. That's when Bob and Scratch came together with Soul Rebels and all that. And when Fams and Carly and Wire came, then it was Catch a Fire and Burning. It was that sound. And then when Wire had left to go work with Taj Mahal, he won a Grammy on Mo Roots. And they did one of Bob's songs he wrote, Catch a Fire. And from that record, there was a Grammy awarded album with Taj, and Wire was one of the producers. So it proved that Wire was so responsible for the music that was being made between Catch a Fire and Burning and all the albums that he played with the Wailers. And the same for all of us. It's just that all that we really expect is the respect of what we produce and recorded. And to get that, it seems really complicated when there's so many tribute bands to what we created. We created this, and now you're playing it. Now you're getting more money than the creators. You are benefiting from something that you literally had absolutely nothing to do with the creation of. And I find that only in the music business this thing can happen like that. Because in boxing, that doesn't happen.
No, that's right.
Got two opponents. They're strong. They're getting it on. Whoever doesn't get up off the canvas is the winner. And in music, there's only winners and losers in music. People who won, and people who lost, that had so much to do with the creation and the making of. And we just want to be respected.
And it definitely comes, like I said, when I saw you guys last year, just the music and the way, I think everyone really appreciated your band and the way you guys presented it. That's a really, respectful thing for you, I guess. Like you said, you keep the music going. So
that's why I love coming to New Zealand and Australia and Canada and places like Argentina, Chile, Peru. And you're not in America, because America, it's who you're connected to. And if you're connected to people that know you, they're going to come see you perform. And so like Spain, we do really good in Spain and Portugal and a lot of Europe and England and stuff. So when we come outside of America, we don't have all the obstacles that you do have here, because there's so many tribute groups. There's 3 Wailers. So it becomes confusing. So with the given right of them knowing what I do and what we represent, we have the opportunity to play the music that we love.
That's good.
And the people respect what we do, and it's very kind that people come out and see us perform the music of the past and the present, because that's why we're trying to get this album out, and it's taken like years. It's like 4 or 5 years now. We got 3 singles to represent it. The name of the album is Mirror of Heaven. That's the old record. Mirror of Heaven is the name of our new album. And why do we call it Mirror of Heaven? Because one day we were in a reunion and we played in a rainforest. And before the gig, we went to a restaurant, and on the way back to the hotel to go to the gig, it was a beautiful sunset day. I don't know if you've ever been to Reunion, but Reunion is a beautiful French island. And so the way the water was and the way the golden sunset came down, it came down in a cross across the whole water. And I got an opportunity. I had a little camera, like my iPhone, and I caught the moment when the sun hit the water, the set. And so that's the cover of the album. It's on our single. I'll try to bring a single out to you.
Oh, that'd be
Um,
great.
the name of the album is Mirror of Heaven. The first single we did is Song of the Divine. It's a spiritual song that we did in Bali,
Yeah.
one of my favorite places, another God's country along with New Zealand. Just a beautiful place to, and as you know, it has those wonderful elements of spiritualism and
Mm.
people that are really solid, people that don't, they don't really red eye you. They enjoy the fact that
Yeah,
there's a tourist. I know that you're not from my country. Enjoy.
good.
There's food and coffee and all these nice things that they produce there that they shared with us.
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking for in our music and our
Mm.
endeavors, touring and playing outside of where we're from.
Yeah.
And then there's C2 Melodies, that's a love song. Um, Chet Samuel, our singer-songwriter, guitarist, he's got a real loving family. He's got grandma, he's got his wife and two daughters. So he's always full of love. So he wrote a love song, and I think he's kind of dedicated or livicated that to them.
Okay.
So that's cool. And our third song, which we have not released as yet, we didn't get the distribution on Song of the Divine. We didn't get the distribution we deserved for Situ Melodas because it was in Espanol. And the distributor was somebody from New Zealand, and he didn't have the contacts that he presumed to me that he had a Spanish market that was going to adapt that particular song. So we have a second song in Espanol in Spanish called Pierda por Pierda, which means Pierda por Pierda means brick by brick, stone by stone, we build a world, we create.
Oh, nice.
And that's going to be that's a really hard rocking reggae song with a
Oh,
Latin twist to it. So that's going to be our third single. And
yeah.
after we release Pierda por Pierda, we are going to release our other 6-song EP.
Oh,
So
great.
9 songs.
Hmm.
It's going to be in English and Espanol as usual because our bass player Omar Lopez is from Mexico and Chet's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
We got that crazy swinging drummer Papa Nyako from Ghana and Ross Clamper on keyboards and myself.
Hmm.
And that makes up the album Mirror of Heaven. And we have a 3-time Grammy-winning producer who works with us all the time, Stephen Stewart. So we'll have him in there in the mix and try to make this album the best thing that we have going for us now.
Wow, can't wait.
Other originals, Queen Omega, which was a new song by Chet Samuel. I'll send that to you so you can blast that. Did it with a real bass player called Jadi, a producer, and
Okay.
they're playing all over Africa now and all over Europe, and
Wow.
he's won a couple of awards in England for upcoming song.
With your guitar playing, do you still like practice as much, or more just like going through the songs? And or do you have any new things you do?
I just got like a metronome, one of those
Yeah, yeah.
old wooden ones.
Yeah, I got the old-fashioned one right here.
I got one. Mine's brown,
Okay.
and I'm starting to realize from martial arts, I hit a lot of Wing Chun dummies, and I hit it flat out. My hands are going through a lot of changes now. So I've got to ease up on punching bags and
Yep.
overdo with my hands. So I basically noodle a lot. I play some scales and it's how I feel. If I've got a song that I'm writing, I stick with that until I figure out the verse, chorus, bridge, or whatever, refrain. Or if I'm going on the road, maybe a couple weeks out, I'll start playing, just moving my hands up and down the fretboard so that if I have to solo or play some chords and stuff, I won't be lacking.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really practice. You could say practice. I got the guitar in my hand like 4 or 5 hours a day, every day.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I wish it was more because I want to record more. I've got some great equipment. I've
Yeah,
got some really wonderful guitars, and I want to get back in the studio and finish this record and show, all our friends that love what we do musically, what we're doing now, right now, in the present, so they can hear and feel the energy of the music that we love to hear and
yeah,
play.
yeah. So do you have any timeline, or not sure yet when that will be released?
Oh man, it's taken so long, and it's all about finances. With the situation I have, I pay for everything.
Yeah,
Pay for the plane, the bus, the train, the hotels,
mm,
gas. It's my business
yeah,
with a production company that looks after the shows and stuff. But so far as financially, I pay for everything. And
mm,
I'm always very stressed to know that everybody's being taken care of. Because the most important thing is not to leave anybody out that you're working with, especially when they're doing a great job of keeping me on the road
yeah.
and keeping, I got bills too,
Oh yeah,
along with every.
sure.
So I share everything that comes in, but it's really not enough to do all the recordings, be executive producer.
Yeah,
We need help. And
mm,
so our management is doing the best that they can to keep us out there so we can make that money and put it back into recording, put it back into materials and microphones and stuff. Because for me, it's not about if I had the money, I'd be in the studio more. If
yeah,
I had all that money that is due to me and due to the Wailers, I would be having the absolute best equipment, the best microphones,
mm,
the best producers and engineers working with us because we can afford it. But unfortunately, at this phase of my career, we're working just to pay our bills and to
yeah,
stay alive.
yeah,
And at the same time, if we can have some good recording and some material that represents the music that we make, I'm going to put all of that right back into the music business that we created,
yeah,
which is getting into the studio, really good instruments for everybody, great microphones,
mm,
good monitor systems,
yeah,
and a good agency. Wasserman and Wasserman is one of the greatest agencies on the East Coast
mm,
or West Coast, actually, that anybody could be working with. And I'm grateful for that opportunity that they got me out there working where I can put all these things back into recording
yeah,
because that's where it's at for me.
yeah,
Go out there, get those beans and put it right back into the music and the branding.
yeah. That's great. So just looking at the quick dates here, so it's not long. So 15th of November is your first gig in Perth. So you got two in
Yeah.
Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney.
I'm going to all the guitar mom and pop shops. I'm looking for gear. I'm looking for amplifier. I'm looking for anything that I can bring back home and just like enjoy the buzz from it.
Yeah. Well, if we do meet up, I'll bring you my album so you can have a listen to it.
Please do. We're going to meet up. Don't worry about that. Just stay in touch with me on my email and we'll just link it all together and maybe catch a jar and do some sparring.
There we go. No, that'd be great. No, yeah, hope we can catch up and check out that vinyl as well.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you when we come through, man. God bless.
Yeah, no, thank you, Al. No, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Cheers. Blessings.
Okay.
Okay.
So, bye. And a big thank you to Steve Rosen as well, who has become my new sponsor for the podcast. Now, Steve is the author of Tone Chaser and also has the audiobook and the hard copy. So make sure you check it out. It's really incredible stuff, and especially the audiobook, which has got all the audio from the interviews with Eddie Van Halen from 1978, I think the first one was, up until the next 26 years. It's an incredible book, so check it out.